Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2019 graphic novel Stranger Things 6. This is from Dark Horse Comics. This came out November 2019? I just want to double check that. November 2019. So, after watching season 4 of Stranger Things, and I've read this before, but 6 is mentioned, right? The character 6 is mentioned, and 6 is mentioned as he. But 6, the original 6, is a she. So it's confirming that the numbers stay the same for the test subjects in Hawkins' lab run by Dr. Brenner, but they replace them once they are no longer used, or they escape, or they die, whatever, right? So 6, character of 6, her name is Francine, 17 years old. She is clairvoyant. She's psychic, so she can see the future. So her parents make her, her father mainly makes her, pick the winning horse number names of races and the winning lottery numbers. They bought a new house, sold the new stuff in the new house is because of the lottery winnings, because of what she can do. So the new house that they move into, their next door neighbor, his name is Ricky. So Ricky's the same age as Francine. They two start, flirting, semi-dating. She escapes to their house when her father gets violent. They're planning on going to prom together. And then stuff happens, right? But we get this in flashbacks. And so Ricky and his family are associated with Brenner and the lab. And Ricky can do some stuff as well. He can make people do what he wants them to do just by talking, but using his certain gifts, his certain powers, quote unquote. And so Francine agrees after meeting with Brenner to join in on the science experiment, to be a test subject. She's tested out. She goes in the hydro tank that we see Ellen in season 1 as well. And so things happen, right? So she's getting flashes of the future. She's seeing waffles. She's seeing a breakout. She's seeing this monster thing. She's seeing this cold, fearful feeling as well as seeing. She's also seeing an escape. She's seeing shots. She's seeing death. So she knows things are going to happen, right? And after one of her fellow subjects pushes themselves too hard and winds up dying in their medical ward, she herself winds up in the medical ward by biting her tongue, faking a seizure. Speaking to that test subject's sister, whose name is Marcy, so Marcy and her are together when the sirens go off. And what's up with the sirens? That's when Jane's mom is breaking into the lab to get Jane out of the rainbow room, which we see the flashes of in season 2. And we see, we know that Jane's other quote-unquote sister is in Philadelphia within season 2. That's that whole episode of her revisiting the past. So it's just a matter of, if Francine's seeing all these things, if 6 is seeing all these things, what does it have to do with Jane? Well, Jane, 11, is in this as a very young child, testing, right, as we see in season 4. But the events, the flashback events of season 4 are actually after the events of this book, to be completely honest. So Francine, Ricky, and who's number 3. So he's 3, she's 6, and then Marcy is Control, just called Control, because she and her twin could, start some fires with their minds. So the 3 of them escape. Francine gets a flash of Ricky being shot. She jumps in the way. She winds up being shot, and she winds up changing the future for the better, which is what Brenner wanted. So she did it as a big, F you to him kind of a thing. So that way Ricky and Marcy can run off to the woods and escape. We don't actually know if they truly escape, but at the end of the book, Francine is dead. 6 is dead, and therefore that's why there's a new 6 in Stranger Things season 4 for the flashbacks as a male, because the test subjects are replaced. The other thing to point out is the characters in this book all have their hair. And we know that because, see, we even have a picture of young Jane Hopper, young 11, with her hair. We know that they have their hair in the flashbacks from season 2 when Jane's mom breaks into the lab to try to, take her daughter out. We know that they have hair. So what happened in between the events of all of this to the events of the flashbacks of season 4? Why did all of the test subjects then get buzz cuts? Don't actually know that yet, which is interesting. What was the difference between them keeping all of their hair to them buzzing off all their hair? Is it more easier for the sensors to attach to their head to check the brainwaves? Probably, but like it's not discussed and we don't talk about it. And it's interesting because now I want to know what the time duration is, because we know who one is. We know one's an orderly throughout all of this, but we don't actually see him in this. We know of his origins within the flashbacks of season 4, which are incredible. So it's very interesting reading this prior to seeing season 4, because when they said 6 was a boy in season 4, I was like, wait a minute, no, 6 is a girl. So then I had to check back in the book, and I was like, oh, this is before the event. So this took place in 1978, the events of Hawkins' lab. I have to check, because I remember there was a little timestamp in the beginning of season 4. I have to double check when that actually took place, when the flashbacks were taking place. But this was 1978. That all of this is actually happening within the lab. Do I have a timestamp in the beginning? Hawkins lab 78. Yeah. So what's the time duration? Is it a month? Is it 2 months between when they have hair, when they don't have hair? I gotta look this up. I don't think we'll have an answer, but I need to know now the time duration between female 6 dying and male 6 coming into to the flashbacks of season 4. Whew, I got homework. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.